that one guy on comms is going to be getting all the abuse now.
So there's a little bit of a difference here. So the Lokis on, I believe it is New Eden Observatory, have come in at 30 as opposed to coming in at 20, which doesn't sound like that big of a difference, but because of the way the ships work, so Lokis actually have about a 10-kilometer longer range with heavy assault missiles than Nighthawks do, and they have those bonus webs. So it's possible that that could be the difference, because the Lokis will be able to stay out of range of the Nighthawks, where, as Satonia said earlier, Nighthawks are kinetic locked, sort of, and they also have very high kinetic resists. So if New Eden Observatory wins, I'm saying it's because of the Loki warping.
And here we go.
An absolute cascade of boosts there from all those Nighthawks, blowing out everyone's retinas.
Yeah, the Svipples of Winded Elite Marauder is actually running straight away, which is very different. It looks like that they're kind of trying to jockey for position, where New Eden Observatory Svipples are running up and above the team, which is definitely, again, a little bit different tactics here. See how things go.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they're going to try and do. Maybe they're going to try and dive into the back lines once the Nighthawks end up manning each other.
Oh, here come all these Vipples, all the red team's Vipples crashing in there on the back line. Looks like they're going to catch one of those Lokis.
Yeah, it looks like the teams were originally shooting different things. Like, one of them was shooting a Svipple and the other one was shooting a Loki, but now that they finally got in range, they're each trading Lokis and just trying to get on top of the Lokis. Whereas, as we're seeing now, the Svipples are shooting the Kirin of Choo Choo Baby as well.
Yeah, we're seeing a bit of a difference in strategy right now. Both of the Lokis that have been initially primaried are holding about even, but that Svipal of Rith is already dropping here. So, good trade if they can do that and keep their Kirins alive by killing the Svipal support wing.
We have seen... Go on.
Haha Lin, though, in the Nighthawk is in real big trouble all of a sudden, in only about a quarter of shields left.
Yeah, it looks like the pressure against the other Kirin has caused them to drop their shield reps slightly. They're splitting across the Loki and the Nighthawk, and there it goes.
A very important thing to notice is the Kirins for that Nighthawk that has just went down are on the complete other side of the field. The Kirins have fled away from these Svipples. The Svipples did very well of forcing the Kirins back away from it, and then the moment the Kirins were out of range, they went, okay, let's go all in on this Nighthawk now that the Svipples can't rep it. The Kirins can't rep it.
Yeah, you can see all of the blue team's Vipples have just cornered this one remaining Vipple, and they're all killing it, but in doing so, they're not impacting the rest of the field, and they're letting this Nighthawk of Air Ice Certain die. That's not a good trade.
Yeah, I could understand maybe one Nighthawk for 3 Svipals, but I mean, this Nighthawk has to stabilize, and it's not going to. It's getting down into hull and now popping very quickly.
Yeah, we've seen matches like this previously where the Svipples have been shot first, whereas another team has tried to shoot the Kirins. It is very much in the favour of the team that shoots the Svipples, and that's not if the mainline DPS of the Nighthawk is also trying to shoot the Svipples. Usually in that situation, the Nighthawks trade with each other. The team that kills the Svipples first usually wins, because then the Kirins of the other team keep alive, and the Lokis and the Svipples clean up. Where in this situation, the Nighthawks decided they were going to try and shoot the Svipples, which is not an optimal situation, because as we can see now, when to delete Marauder, now that the opposing team doesn't have any Svipples left, they are just picking Kirins and killing them. But unfortunately, they're going to have no DPS with all the Nighthawks down.
Yeah, they were able to leverage that support advantage, but it's just not going to be enough to win them the match. At least, you know, you can just compare the EHP totals on both sides and do the maths pretty much.
That's the 3 Nighthawks.
There is a possibility, because Winded Elite Marauder has their Lokis and Svipples and Kirins still up, that they may actually be able to take both Lokis down on New Eden Observatory, because the 2 Lokis and the 3 Svipples is still quite a bit of DPS, and New Eden Observatory no longer has logistics. So if they're able to take both those Lokis down, it's possible that those Nighthawks don't actually have webs and won't be able to apply to any of the smaller ships on Winded Elite Marauder's side. So it is definitely a very different set of target calling. It might end up still working out. This is definitely not over yet, even though it kind of looks that way from the points.
They are grinding through Cucumber Errors faster than they're getting through Chess Nielsen, though.
Yeah, that is the entire difference of the logistics. The logistics with the the huge amount of rep drones that are sitting on top. The logistics is just providing that little bit of extra tank, which is just allowing them to stay alive a little bit longer.
Yeah, we can see a Loki dropping now of Cucumber Ares as Chess Nielsen is now just sort of stabilizing in very low shield. I'm going to be interesting to see how much heat these Nighthawks have left. I'm presuming you're burning all of your heat if you have any left to try to break Chess at this point.
He is breaking, but again, it's definitely slowly, like, there's little tiny bits of shield. He lived way longer than I think he had any right to, which is, that's kind of all you want at this point. And like I said, if they take that Loki down before they, if they trade Lokis at the same time, I think the 3 Swipples and 2 Kirans might actually be able to beat 3 Nighthawks just because of damage application.
An important thing to notice is if they manage to kill the Loki of Yomi, the Loki of Falkia can pull out of range of the Nighthawk and then rep all of its shields back and then go back in.
Yeah, one interesting thing too is as that last Loki died, just before we saw the ton of their EHP went down. I think that was like links dropping off because the Nighthawk links expired at that point, right? So now I think New Eden Observatory are going to go through that next Loki a little bit faster.
Yeah, so I mean, even if Winter Delete Marauder did trade out Lokis quicker, which it doesn't look like they're doing, they still have to contend with the fact that 3 Spiples and 2 Kirans doesn't beat 3 Nighthawks. We can see like more of the attack bars and those defense bars, and they'd be down on point, so you'd have to kill another Nighthawk or so. And I mean, we can already see that Yeonmi is still surviving, and Winter Delete Marauders lost their last Loki. Their attack bar is now rather minuscule at this point.
Looks like they're trying to go for the victory blow here, using the last few minutes of this Loki's life to web down one of these Kirans and going for a play there.
We look at the Kiran though; it's not taking any damage. Like,
yeah,
they're trying, but they are going to lose this Loki. There is still so right now this Loki's only surviving because it has 15 light rep drones on it, which I think maybe the Swipples should have killed them first, but it doesn't matter anymore because they just took it out. The thing is now is if they go for any of the Nighthawks, there's going to be 5
wow.
rep drones. However, Swipple is actually just getting killed without webs on it because they were not moving. So that was maybe a mistake on their part.
Being controlled space with DPS doesn't really isn't really that great if you're going to be shot.
Yeah, the power of defensive mode was not with him.
Wow, suddenly these Nighthawks are just tearing through this team. The application is appalling.
Yeah, by the looks of it, they've swapped out missiles to be Javelin and apply really well to smaller ships.
Yeah, the Swipples are actually going down a lot faster than I thought they were going to. I was thinking maybe they'd be able to sig tank a little bit better, but apparently not. And I guess the Nighthawks are just going to kill everything really, really fast.
I mean, you could see the effect of the MWD of the Loki of Falkia going down. Went to delete Marauders. Loki was still running the MWD. The Nighthawks applied even through the Logi in a way that they weren't able to apply on Yomis or Cucumbers. You know, that Sig Bloom really makes a massive difference when these Nighthawks are trying to apply to you.
Yeah, the Swipples were in the wrong mode. I believe one died in speed mode, the other died in sharpshooter mode, or 2 of them died in sharpshooter mode, so they weren't able to go into defensive mode to get the 66% Sig reduction as well as the extra resists.
Yeah, I think these Kiran should go boundary now. Try and go for the record, because 2 Kirans is not going to solo Nighthawks.
Does seem like they're going for the distance.
Yep, they are going for an MJD beacon right now, so we get to see the most exciting and fun part of any tournament, which is people trying to boundary as far as they can.
We call this the Eve long jump. Casper24 is the current record holder at 227. Let's see if these guys can beat it.
Oh, he bounced off the MJD beacon.
Turning, no. We're being trolled. They're not actually trying for it. The Kiran is now trying to kite away.
It doesn't actually matter how many points in the round robin, right? There's no reason for them to...
It's a tiebreaker, but it doesn't matter because they can only play 3 games, so... I don't think it's that. It's just for bragging rights, I believe.
Yeah, I think in theory it could matter, but you'd have to get like a really weird situation for it to actually matter.
It's been some really great matches though so far today, and this has been one of them. This was really close, as mirror matches tend to be, and it all came down to the target calling decisions.
Yeah, went to the Marauder. They decided to hold their supers back for a little bit, then like chase after those Kirins, and New Eden Observatory used their supers to try and kill the other supers. But since the Kirins had to move away from the New Eden Marauder supers, they actually went too far, I think, out of rep range of the Nighthawks, and it looks like New Eden Observatory were able to capitalize on that.
I think a very important difference is who the Nighthawks shot, because the Nighthawks on Wanted Elite Marauders shot the Swippers, whereas the Nighthawks on New Eden Observatory just went, yeah, we know what this is. This is a DPS race. Let's kill the DPS.
I think they were shooting a Loki initially, right? But then as soon as the Kirins moved out of range, they went on to the Nighthawks. Maybe it's because the Lokis were out of rage DPS range, because I think that their Lokis came in at range, right? They were a bit further out.
I love that these Nighthawks are actually using light shield maintenance drones on these last two Kirins. They're actually ripping the enemy team.
They want the higher damage numbers.
Well, they're going to get no damage numbers at all, as that's the match officially won for New Eden Observatory, taking it 94 points to 49. And that means that we only have one more match on the card today, ladies and gentlemen. We have Drones Never Die flying up against Long GG's roaming team. And Drones Never Die, unfortunately, have gone 0-2 in their previous matches, whereas Long GG's have gone 2-0. So it's a battle for pride versus a battle for first seed.